To make one thing very, very, very clear. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't win. Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. I will vote for Satan if I have to. Remember, no one's free until we're all free. And we can't protect ourselves if we can't protect each other. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against.
Right quick, you all tell me if you remember the following.
Vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
So that was a member of the Muslim American community there in Dearborn, Michigan, who told us if we voted for Kamala Harris that we were not welcome in their community. Well, yeah, this is going to be kind of awkward. Hold on.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible.
Hold on. He's not finished.
People of the area do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
So this your man's, right?
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you my people are watching this from, you're doing alright. And God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to me on here, I do appreciate you. And to my members, shout out to you guys. You do me amazing. And as always, we are back with another juicy, interesting one. But I must say that there are certain groups of people that you don't want to mess up with. And I'm talking about the black people. Because if they decide to clap back, they will clap back and they will eat you up. What am I talking about? Yeah, there's a properly, movement that literally had so much smoke for the black community, and they were discouraging a lot of people from voting Kamala because apparently, according to them, Kamala was sponsoring and supporting the general that was happening in Pali, right? But after the election, they are retracting or taking back their words. They're like, we didn't say this. And now black people have decided to actually clap back with receipts. That's what you don't mess up with. But also, let's not forget that these people are now retracting, and they are also changing their name, the name of the movement, which was, Arabs for Trump. Now they are calling themselves Arabs for Peace. So let's not forget that all of this is happening after Trump decided to say he wants to occupy. They are confused. And black people are here to remind you that they did not F around like you told them. You did F around. And it is time for you to sleep in the same bed that you laid in. Why don't we watch all these interesting stitches? Shout out to the creators. We'll come back and talk about it.
Right quick, you all tell me if you remember the following.
Vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
So that was a member of the Muslim American community there in Dearborn, Michigan, who told us if we voted for Kamala Harris that we were not welcome in their community. And that was because of stances over Gaza, right? Well, yeah, this is going to be kind of awkward. Hold on.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible.
Hold on. He's not finished.
People of the area do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
So this your man's, right? This your man's here talking about turning a demolition site into the Riviera of the Mideast. And those of us who stood with you, you told us we wouldn't welcome in your community if we didn't vote for your man's here, or Jill Stein, right? Question, where's Jill Stein now? Well, she doesn't seem to be answering the phone right now. And while I will never be okay with the carpet bombing of children, I will say this. If you all need any help in the community you told us we wasn't welcome to, since Jill Stein isn't answering, remember, you can always call Ghostbusters. Questions?
Make one thing very, very, very clear. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't win. Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. Bitch, I will vote for Satan if I have to. Remember, no one's free until we're all free. And we can't protect ourselves if we can't protect each other. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against the fascism that's been here, but finally popping its head out and being loud and proud about it. And unless we do something, really come together, it's gonna get real bad. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against the fascism that's been here, but finally popping its head out and being loud and proud about it. And unless we do something, really come together, it's gonna get real bad.
Sounds good, bitch, but we should have did this November 5th. But might I remind you, you said this.
Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. Bitch, I will vote for Satan if I have to. I don't care who we gotta deal with for the next 4 years, as long as you motherfuckers know that you fucked up and you guys are gonna deal with some type of repercussion for what happened for the last 10 months. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that bitch does not win and the Democrat Party loses the election. Fuck you guys.
He said all of this, and then he sealed it with a kiss. How do you expect us to come together in unity and form a community when there's no trust? You betrayed us. The black community told you this was gonna happen, and rather than listening to us, you silenced us, you harassed us, you doxed us, you dehumanized us. You told us we don't know what genocide is, we don't know what oppression is. Imagine telling somebody who literally had to survive 400 years of slavery that we don't know what oppression and genocide looks like. You think just one day we just woke up and black folks were granted their rights? No, we had to fight for it. And one thing that we learned within that fight is also learning about this thing called harm reduction. We had to learn how to play chess, not checkers, and it literally took us years to get here. And the sad thing about it is the black community tried to give you the play-by-play on how we could help the Palestinian people, but you didn't want to listen to us. You said that we're stupid, we don't know anything about oppression, we're ghetto, hoodlum, genocidal trash. You dehumanized us. Told us that we don't know anything about a country that has literally been disenfranchising us for the last 400 years. And the sad thing about it is, you would not have your civil rights if it wasn't for black people's plight. The only reason why you was even able to protest vote to begin with and throw it away is because of the blood that was spilled by my ancestors. So please get that fucking shit correct. And now y'all got the nerve to knock on the motherfucking door and ask black people, where are you at, black folks? We need you. Well, we needed you too on November 5th. And we told you that if you think that you are going to teach us a lesson, you're gonna fuck around and find out first. Please don't come to black creators. Don't come to black people asking us for shit in this moment. Okay, we only 2 weeks in and we still haven't healed. We still haven't healed, and that brings it back to the dehumanization of it. We put our sweat, tears, and soul into this election, trying to save this nation once again for every other minority and marginalized community to betray us. And then you got the motherfucking nerve to show up to our fucking doorstep and tell us what the fuck to damn do. And we need to get your black ass up and do something. Please be gone with that bullshit. If anything, what y'all should be doing is apologizing to us, trying to gain our trust again, because I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't fucking trust you. In order to build community, there has to be trust there, and you've already gone against the damn grain. You got 2 years to get y'all shit together before the next midterms and gaining black people's trust, because we don't trust y'all asses. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to be on the front lines and being used as a black human shield for people who do not even give a fuck about my existence and played in our face and told us that they want us to suffer because they were angry. The same people who said that they were our allies when we said, if you vote for Kamala Harris, don't worry about her. The black community will hold her accountable if we elect her. But rather than reaching across the aisles for a compromise, you decide to play in our fucking face and set off a fucking bomb and explosion. And now all of us are dealing with the consequences. So please leave us the fuck alone. Stop harassing us. Remember, we don't know anything about oppression. We don't know anything about organization. We're DEI hires. We're apes. All this anti-black shit that y'all was saying on this TikTok app to black content creators and black people, we remember. Okay, November wasn't nothing but damn 3 months ago. We remember. The North remembers. Why is the onus always on us? Again, black people do something. Black people fix it. Black people organize it. Black people put it together. For us to tear it the fuck apart and then play in your face and claim to quote unquote be allies when all we ever do is lie. Because as soon as the white supremacists come a knocking, we're going to run and find safety in supremacy and leave your ass out in the cold to fend for yourself. Because again, black person, you're not human. Your life doesn't matter. Even though I have BLM in my bio, I honestly don't think it matters. I'm doing this for clicks and views and get invited to the cookout. Just stop. Why is it that everything that this black woman said has come to pass and it's been less than 2 fucking weeks? Why is it that everybody black was on the same damn time and the same fucking wavelength, but y'all couldn't be? Because again, y'all don't want fucking equality. Y'all want to benefit from white supremacy. And right now, black people are trying to internalize that, grasp that, and try to move differently around y'all because we do not trust anybody but our own in this moment. And can you really fucking blame us? Stitch this, bitch.
So Donald Trump is not proposing an ethnic cleansing in Gaza. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. He wants the U.S. to take ownership of it, remove the people who are living there by force if needed to Egypt or Jordan. He wants to level it out and rebuild it to what he has called the Riviera of the Middle East. First and foremost, I want to say that this is not a fuck around and find out moment for the Palestinians living in Gaza because they did not fuck around. They could not vote in this past presidential election. They could not go to the polls. They could not cast a mail-in ballot. But for the so-called pro-Palestinian activists who could participate in this past presidential election, are you ready to admit that the people of Gaza are finding out because you fucked around and spread so much misinformation? Y'all went on and on and on demonizing Kamala Harris, calling her a war criminal, saying that she never spoke up for the people of Palestine, saying that she never called for a ceasefire. Did y'all do any fucking research? If you did, you would see that she was one of the first people to push the White House to be more sympathetic towards Palestinians. This article is from December of 2023. Vice President Kamala Harris has been telling colleagues in the administration, namely Joe Biden being among these officials, that she wants the White House to show more concern publicly for the humanitarian damage in Gaza. March of 2024, Kamala Harris calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. July of 2024, Harris says she will not be silent about humanitarian toll in Gaza. And the reminder that Google is still free. Kamala Harris multiple times called for a ceasefire and a 2-state solution. And I know what y'all are going to say. She only said those things because she was running for president. She wanted to look good. Mind you, the first article I showed you was from December of 2023, but okay, pop off, queen. Y'all didn't want to believe Kamala Harris. Y'all didn't want to listen to her. Who then should we listen to? The people of Gaza? Because the Palestinians in Gaza themselves said that they prefer Kamala Harris over Trump. You call yourself a pro-Palestinian activist and say that you care about the people of Gaza, so tell me why, instead of amplifying their voices, did you speak over them? I need your answer quickly. I think that y'all never thought that Trump was actually going to be reelected. Y'all thought that y'all could get on here, say whatever you wanted about Kamala Harris. She would still win the election, and then y'all could use her as your punching bag for the next 4 years. Y'all did not have a plan for if Trump got reelected, and that's why it is fucking crickets from you bitches now. You can try to maintain that you are innocent, that you played no part in Trump being reelected. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. Call it a J-Lo concert ticket, bitch. No one is fucking buying it. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
So a pro-Trump group called Arab Americans for Trump just announced that they will be changing their name to Arab Americans for Peace after Donald Trump proposed taking over Gaza and redeveloping it to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East. So here's what the group's leader said as to why they are dropping the "for Trump" from their name and changing it to "for peace." Quote, "The talk about what the president wants to do with Gaza, obviously, we're completely opposed to the idea of the transfer of Palestinians from anywhere in historic Palestine. And so we did not want to be behind the curve in terms of pushing for peace, because that has been our objective from the very beginning." Yet, if that was your objective from the beginning, then why were you supporting a guy who wanted to enact a Muslim ban and who was so transparently obvious in siding completely against the Palestinian people? Like, whether or not you supported Kamala Harris was one thing, but there is no denying that she was more benevolent to the Palestinian people than Donald Trump. It's unfortunate that it took Donald Trump saying he wants to level Gaza for this group to realize that supporting Donald Trump may not have been in the best interests of the Palestinian people.
Right, in response to someone saying, have you seen the video where Donald Trump is saying that he wants to clear out Gaza and send them to Jordan and Egypt? Their response is to come back and to continue to talk about Kamala Harris. Why are you talking about this woman still? She isn't even in office. It's over.
Everybody watching this to acknowledge that Palestinians did not elect Trump into office. Palestinians didn't vote for Trump except for a minority of Palestinians in Michigan. I made multiple videos critiquing Trump before his election, and all the hatred pointed at Palestinians for Trump's win should be pointed at the people who actually voted for him, not the people who just didn't vote for Kamala, because we did not cause him to win. Trump is a fucking psychopath. You could say I told you so, but we did not want him to win. I never said anybody but Kamala. I simply said I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm also not voting for Trump.
And to say Trump is a fucking psychopath, but you came out and openly were telling people you weren't voting for Kamala Harris. So what did you think the alternative was going to be? It was going to be Trump.
Trump is a fucking psychopath. You could say I told you so, but we did not want him to win. I never said anybody but Kamala. I simply said I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm also not voting for Trump.
Baby, stop the gaslighting. You're not trying to have no conversation for real. You got your comments off. You're not trying to see the comments. You just running your mouth. This is what happens when you are a pseudo-activist, okay? When you only make money off of putting videos out, fear-mongering your community. Because this only affects people that are in Gaza. If you live in America, a lot of these Palestinians, I'm going to be honest with you, they don't give a damn unless they got actual family members over there. That's just me being real. And shit, probably then they still don't care because they live in America. But to have the conversation, the reason why people, you got to vote within your interests. And if we put the interests on the board in front of someone like Maya, okay, we've seen 4 years of Trump. We've known Trump's past when it comes to minorities and how he sees minorities. We've seen that. We also understood Kamala Harris's position, right? She's the vice president. She can't do anything. She doesn't have the power to stop anything that's happening over in Gaza right now, right? Or she didn't have anything, right? Trump has been president, and we've seen how he treats minorities when he is president. Okay? You got to vote within your interests. There was nothing Trump or Jill Stein had that was within your interests. That is a fact. They were just fear-mongering the whole time. They didn't present a plan. They didn't present anything.
It's an episode of F Around and Find Out, and the Pali community is finding out, unfortunately, the hard way. It's not that we are excited. Nobody wants to rejoice over the misfortune of other people. But I think also sometimes it is very important for people to come out and address these things and clear the air. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this very episode. And if you're landing on the channel for your very first time, please subscribe to the channel. I will highly appreciate that. I must say that the hypocrisy of the community of the pro-Pali people and the Arab people is just, I think it needs to be studied, to be honest, because it's until now, whatever they were expecting from Trump is not about to happen. that they are now coming back, retracting their words. And now they are calling everyone else to come and be for them. And, they need unity. Unity was needed during election. And you did not offer that. You betrayed the people. Do you think that black people are stupid or they are dumb? That because you are coming up with sweet words right now and you are kind of apologizing, which that wasn't an apology, to be honest, because what is required out of them is coming out in the public and saying, you know what, we really effed so bad and we need to apologize. You need to own up to your own wrongs. Take accountability of that first, and then start coming in the public and speaking to people, because people were right there telling you, you know what, we know whatever you are trying to say about this leader that's not who she is. In fact, receipts are coming out that she was actually even, helping the community. She was, calling for a ceasefire. She wanted everybody to look into the issue because she really sympathized and she felt the pain, right? But they chose to put all the words out there and misinform the public. And unfortunately, now that she did not win, it's Trump and he's doing his Trump thing. Yeah. They are coming out to, be like, we need to come together. With who? Do you think black people are just that gullible that you're going to come and speak one thing and they are going to turn their heads? I said these people have been there. You don't need to mess with people that have been there, that felt the heat. They've been on the stove and cooked, so they know how it feels like. So when they are telling you, do not pretend to be the most wise one, because as we all can see, yeah, you were gullible. You bought into this. And I know that majority of them actually voted for him because they even had a movement, Arabs for Trump. Unfortunately, now he's planning to cancel the student visas and residency visas for them. So that means they have to be dropped back to their countries. How unfortunate that you have to go and dwell among the rebels. I hate to say that because nobody deserves that. I see my people going through that all around me, and I hate that that is happening to them, right? But how I wish you really advocated for the right thing. The guy is taking these people back, and it is until they feel the effect. Right now, they are coming and they are retracting their words. That's why I am super proud of the black community, because they're like, you know what? We ain't stupid. We know. And we have the receipts, and they are bringing all the receipts. They are putting it in front of them. You cannot be this shameless to come back on the internet and say all that you have to say. But also, I must say that, do you remember that during this period when Trump won, all of them went mute, right? In fact, so many people were speculating that some of these people were literally paid. Yeah. And now that I think the vacation time is over, they are coming back and they are, opening their mouths once again. So unfortunate that right now it's so hard to change things. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but you call this on yourself. We also need to acknowledge that most of these people, they are literally making all this noise while they are in America, enjoying the freedoms and all of that. I don't think any of them really have that much interest, because if they had interest of their own people, that would reflect on the things they are saying. I hope they bundle up together and start protesting, which is going to be hard because he's also planning to crack down all the pro-Palis that plan to protest. Anybody that wants to protest on behalf of Pali, he will crack them down. So they have no option but rather to come on the internet and cry for sympathy. But the way they demoralized and dehumanized and disrespected and humiliated the black people back then, nobody wants to be part of this. These people are the kind of people that want to dictate what you need to do as long as it favors them. They want to identify with the black community when it is more appropriate and beneficial to them. But when it is not beneficial, they don't want anything to do with the black community. They said black people are the same people that were sent on the planes and they were going and they were unaliving their people. Do you know how many Arab people unalived our people? Do we have to go back in history and talk about, slave trade? Or do we have to go to the slave trade that is already happening right now, the trafficking that is happening where our girls are literally losing their lives in one of their houses? Do we have to forget the fact that when in Lebanon something was happening, lots of black people were left on the streets to fend for themselves? Do they think that we don't know how they treat our people, but then they are looking for support from the black community? They are looking for support from us. When you don't fight for us, but then you want us to fight for you? Are we not human enough? How many of them are coming out to speak on the struggles that are happening in Congo? How many of them are coming out to speak about the struggles that are happening in Sudan? Most of them created some of these problems. In fact, most of them are the ones that are funding. The Middle East is funding these, whatever, like journals that are happening in Africa, right? In the name of them going and collecting as much minerals as they want to enrich themselves and then still call Africa a shithole. We know that you don't value black lives, but then you want us to value your lives. And that's the reason as to why black people had to wake up and be like, no, because at the beginning of this lady, I think, that was supporting Pali, she literally called people to go and support Kamala. And that lady, the Ayomi whatever, she was like, go and remove our flag out of your bio because, you're supporting someone that is supporting the journal. And she's like, just because I am speaking my opinions and who I want to support you are telling me to, to get out of the movement? You are such hypocrites. And who told you that black people are benefiting from this, from fighting for you? Black people have fought for everybody else and they have received less recognition or even appreciation, but rather other groups of people come and start trampling on them and start, abusing and insulting them. Instead of a thank you for the civil rights movement and for allowing you to even be recognized in that country and for you to even come and speak up on the internet, this is how you pay them. And now you want to double down and you want to go back and be like, oh, this is not what we meant. You meant exactly what you said. You said that black people effed around. Well, let me tell you something. It's time for you now to realize that you effed around and you are finding out. Unfortunately, I don't know, someone needs to come up with a regret terminology because they effed around, they are finding out, and it's time to regret and also own up to the blame. You shouldn't give this to anybody else. Take it up. If you want black people to come and speak for you and be there for you, reciprocate the energy. And since we have not seen any of you speaking about the journal that is happening in Congo, in Sudan, and in the other different sides of the world, we are assuming that our lives do not matter. And since we do have our people that are dying in your houses, we assume that our lives do not matter as long as they are taken by your people. And mind you, it's not black people that are taking you through all of this. So I wonder why all the blame has to be on the black community. Isn't it time for you to maybe stand up and find a solution to stopping the man from taking your land? What do you my people think? Please put your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'll definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Bye.